There are places where darkness lives, where the shadows have a life of their own. Blackwood Manor is one of those places, and I barely escaped with my life. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but there are things in this world that defy explanation. I never believed in ghosts or the supernatural until I spent a night at Blackwood Manor. It's a place infamous for its dark history, where strange disappearances and unexplainable events have occurred for over a century. It started as a dare. My friends and I were out camping near the old manor, and after a few drinks, we thought it would be fun to explore. I volunteered to go alone, thinking it was all just stories to scare kids. As I approached the mansion, its towering silhouette against the moonlit sky sent a shiver down my spine. The front door creaked open with an eerie ease, as if it had been waiting for me. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the scent of decay. My flashlight barely pierced the darkness, casting long, sinister shadows on the walls. Every step I took echoed loudly, a reminder that I was utterly alone. I began exploring, finding rooms filled with old furniture covered in white sheets, like forgotten memories. But it was in the grand hallway that I first sensed it. A presence, something watching me. The temperature dropped suddenly, and I could see my breath misting in the air. Then I heard it. A faint whispering, just beyond the reach of my flashlight. I followed the sound, despite every instinct telling me to run. It led me to a large ornate mirror at the end of the hall. As I stood before it, the whispering grew louder, more insistent. My reflection wavered, and for a moment I saw not my own face, but that of a terrified woman. She looked directly at me, her eyes pleading, before the mirror cracked violently, the sound echoing through the manor. Terrified, I stumbled back, but my curiosity overpowered my fear. I continued exploring, making my way to the basement. The stairs were treacherous, and the air grew colder with each step. The basement was worse than I'd imagined, damp, dark, and filled with a sense of impending doom. There in the corner was an old, decrepit chest. The whispering was louder now, almost a chant. I hesitated, then opened the chest. Inside, I found a collection of old, faded photographs and a diary. The diary belonged to a woman named Eliza, who once lived in the manor. Her last entry spoke of the shadows that moved on their own, of voices calling her name, of her eventual descent into madness. As I read the final words, a cold hand touched my shoulder. I spun around, but no one was there. Panic set in, and I fled up the stairs, the whispers turning into screams. The shadows seemed to follow me, stretching and twisting in unnatural ways. Reaching the main floor, I dashed for the door, but it slammed shut before I could escape. The mansion seemed alive, its walls closing in on me. I felt a cold breath on my neck, and in a moment of pure terror, I screamed for help. The door flew open, and I stumbled out into the night, the screams of the manor fading behind me. I never spoke of that night again. My friends laughed off my silence, thinking I was just scared. But I know what I experienced was real. Blackwood Manor is cursed, and the shadows that dwell within it are hungry for new souls. So if you ever find yourself near that forsaken place, remember my story. The darkness within Blackwood Manor is alive, and it will consume you if you let it. Don't make the same mistake I did. Stay away from the shadows. Some places are better left forgotten. Blackwood Manor is one of them. If you like this type of content, then why wait? Subscribe our channel, and I will meet you in next tribal video. Stay tuned.